devotee requested me to sing some bhajan. So I thought that's what I'll do today at the beginning of the class. So it's being portrayed, it's being projected on the screen. Yeah, this Mataji actually requested me to sing a bhajan. So we have decided to sing a few verses from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 31st chapter, which is known as Gopi Gita. It goes like, I selected the 9th verse first and then first and second. Like it goes on like Tava Kathamritam. Maybe you can recite after me, seeing the thing. Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kobibhiriritam Kalmashapaham Shavana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Jana. The next is Jayati Te Dhikang Janmana Vraja Shrayata Indira Shashvadatrahi Daita Drishyatang Dikshutavakas Toi Dhrita Savash Tang Vichinnate Sharadudashaye Sadhu Jata Sat Sarasi Jodaro Shri Mushadrisha Surata Nathate Shulka Dasika Barada Nignato Neha King Badha. So the translation, should we go through first or do you have the translation here? Does anybody have the mobile phone with? Yeah, let me read the translation also. Pocket Veda or mobile Veda. Who has it? You have the Vikarshananda? You give it to me. Huh? Okay. Yeah. The 9th verse goes like, the nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations, transmitted by learned sages, eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. So now we go to the first verse, which is second here. The gopis said, O beloved, your birth in the land of Braja has made it exceedingly glorious, and thus Indira, the goddess of fortune, always resides here. It is only for your sake that we, your beloved servants, maintain our lives. We have been searching everywhere for you, so please show yourself to us. O Lord of love, in beauty your glance excels the whirl of the finest, most perfectly formed lotus within the autumn pond. O bestower of benedictions, you are killing the maidservants who have given themselves to you freely, without any price, Isn't that murder? So, so everyone can see the thing on the screen. Everyone is ready to sing. Huh? You know the beat? Nihar, do you know the beat? 2-beat? You play. You take another mridanga also. Tabo kathamritam tapto jivana kobi bhiririta kalmashapaham. Kalmashapaham Tabo kathamritam tapto jivana kobi bhiririta kalmashapaham. Shravanamangala Shrimadatata Bhuvigrinanti Jibhuridayana. Shravanamangala Shrimadatata Bhuvigrinanti Jibhuridayana. Jayati te dhika janamana braja Shrayata indira shashwadatrahi. Dvaita dishyata dikshutavaka শরদুদাশয়ে সাধুজাতসা সারসিজোদর শ্রীমুষাদৃশা সুরতনাথতে শুল্কদাশিকা বরদনিঘ্নত নেহ কিংবধা তব কথামৃত তপ্ত জীবন কবিভিরিত কল্মষাপহ শ্রবণমঙ্গলা শ্রীমদাততা ভুবি গৃণন্তি যে ভূরিদা জানা ভুবি গৃণন্তি যে ভূরিদা জানা হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম হরে রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So we had been doing our seminar on Krishna's pastimes out of Vrindavan, and today is the last day, the concluding session. So to us, the most important pastimes of Krishna is actually him instructing Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Isn't it? Which pastimes of Krishna do we remember the most? Bhagavad Gita, that we are reading every day. So this Bhagavad Gita was spoken in a battlefield, when the battle was just about to begin. So you all know that, no? Which battle was it? Battle of Kurukshetra. Do you know the background of the Battle of Kurukshetra? How many of you know the background? How many of you don't know the background? Raise your hands. And what do I conclude with those who did not raise the hands? Once again, how many of you know the background? How many of you don't know the background? How many refuse to raise your hands? How many of you want to hear the background? Okay. There was an illustrious dynasty known as Kuru dynasty. This line had many illustrious kings, and eventually it came to one king called Shantanu. Shantanu, in his previous life, he was elevated to Satyaloka, the abode of Lord Brahma. And when he was in the assembly of Lord Brahma, at that time Ganga Devi came carrying the water for worship for Brahma. And in a breeze, her upper garment, upper cloth became displaced and her breast became exposed. And this king, who was elevated to Satyaloka, while everyone casted her eyes down, he just kept on looking at her beauty. Seeing that, Brahma told him that you are not eligible to stay in Satyaloka because you still have lusty desires. So you go back to the earth planet. But since you have desired Ganga, you will get her as your wife. So, and this king who was elevated to Satyaloka fell down to the earth planet, and he was born as a king known as Shantanu. So one day he was hunting in the forest, and there on the bank of the river Ganges, he saw an extremely beautiful girl, extremely beautiful woman. So he approached her and asked, "Who are you?" And she mentioned who she was. She was Ganga Devi herself. So he expressed his desire to marry her. She agreed on one condition, that he would never question her activities and would never prevent her from doing what she wanted to do. If he ever did that, then she would leave him. So there is another background here. In the heavenly planet there are different groups of demigods. One group is known as Ashtavashus, Vasus. There are 8 of them, the 8 Vasus. So while they were traveling with their wives, they came to Vashishta Muni's ashram, and there they saw a beautiful cow. And one of the wives of the Vashus desired to have that cow. Vashishta Muni at that time was not in the ashram, and when she desired the cow, her husband and other Vashus told that don't desire it because it is Vashishta's cow. She is the daughter of Surabhi. Her name is Nandini, and she is very, very dear to Vashishta. And it's a Kamdhenu, that's a Surabhi cow that fulfills not only by producing abundant quality of milk, but abundant milk, but also she can fulfill any desire of anyone. But this girl insisted, this woman, Basu's wife, no, I want it. So eventually the Basus stole the cow. And as a result of that, when Vashishta came and saw that Nandini was missing, he sat on meditation and he could see what happened. That these Vasus have stolen Nandini. So Vashishta became very upset, and he cursed them, that in spite of being demigods, your activities are so mean that you are not fit to stay in the heavenly planets. All of you fall down to the earth planet. So when they got to know that, they came to Vashishta, fell at his feet, begged forgiveness, please forgive us, we made a mistake. So Vashishta said, okay, if Mother Ganges agrees you to be her son, then right after your birth you'll get delivered. But the one who stole the cow, stole Nandini, he'll have to stay in the earth planet for a long, long time. So they approached Mother Ganga. Mother Ganga agreed to be their mother, and that's why she came and got married to Shantanu. And as one after another 7 children were born, Mother Ganges took the babies and drowned them, threw them in the river. So Shantanu remembered the condition that he would never question her action and never try to prevent whatever she wanted to do. So he tolerated for 7 children to be sacrificed in this way. But at the time of after the 8th child was born and she was taking the child to the river, this time Shantanu couldn't hold himself. He just said, why are you doing this? Being the mother, you are killing your own children. What's the matter with you? Please spare this child. So Ganga said, okay, this child will survive, but I'll have to go because you broke the promise, and I'll take the child because he will need my care, but when he is grown up, I'll bring him back to you. So now you see, who are those 7 children that Ganga? So that was the arrangement. Now the 8th child had to live for a long time. There's the Basu that stole the cow. So Ganga took the child, and one day when Shantanu was hunting, he was very fond of hunting, and so he was hunting in the forest. Then he saw an amazing sight. He saw that Ganga is not flowing. The water of Ganga is not flowing. So he became curious. How come the river became dry? The water is not flowing. So he went some distance, and then he found that one young boy, by shooting arrows, prevented the movement of Ganga. So he asked who he was. So at that time Ganga came to him. He said, "This is your son. His name is Devavrata. Now that he's grown up, I have brought him to return to you." You can see that he is an extremely powerful person. He is also extremely wise. So Shantanu then became very fond of his son. All the time they were together. So one day, Devavrata was not accompanying him, so Shantanu came across a very beautiful woman. And he asked who she was, and she told that she was the daughter of the king of the fishermen. So he expressed his desire to marry her. So she said, "You have to take the permission from my father for that." So he approached the father, the king of the fishermen, Dhibara Raj, and expressed his desire to marry his daughter. So he said that, "Look, I can offer your daughter to you, provided her son becomes the king. Her son becomes a successor to the throne." Shantanu said, "I already have a son, and he has already been coronated as a crown prince. So I can't fulfill that desire, that condition." So the king of the fishermen said, "Okay, then forget about marrying my daughter." So heartbroken, he went back. Actually what happened was, the astrological prediction was that this girl's son would become the king. So that's why the son of this, his daughter, would become the king. That's why he made that condition. He wanted to make sure that her son would become the king. So Shantanu went back heartbroken. Devavrata noticed that his father was looking so dejected, so morose. So he asked, "What happened? Why are you looking, why are you not in your jovial, lively mood?" So he said, "No, nothing happened, everything is all right." So he asked the chariot driver, "What happened?" So the chariot driver told the whole incident. So he said, "Can you take me to that king of the fishermen?" So he went, he said, he took him there. So he told the king of the fishermen that, "My father desired to marry your daughter. Why don't you offer her to him? He's the king." So he said, I would be happy to offer my daughter to the king, but the condition is that I wanted that her son would become the king, should become the successor to the throne. So Shantanu said, okay, I am the heir to the throne, but I will forgo my claim over the throne. Our son will become the king. So Shantanu, then the king of the fishermen said, that's very nice of you to make this sacrifice for your father. But what you may have relinquished your claim over the throne, but what about your children? And then there will be a family feud. So he said, okay, then I won't get married. And that was such a terrible vow, such a terrible promise to make, because the Kshatriyas are in the mode of passion. In the mode of passion, one wants to enjoy this material nature. And he would be surrounded by all kinds of luxury and objects for sense gratification. So in that environment, to maintain this vow of celibacy would be extremely difficult. So the demigod started to shower flowers, saying, what a terrible promise he made, what a terrible promise he made. So in Sanskrit, that is Bhishma, Bhishma. So from that, this son of Shantanu, Devabrata, got the name Bhishma. So he took the daughter of the fisherman, brought her to his father, and the father was so pleased when he got to know what he had done, that he relinquished his claim over the throne. And he took a vow just in order to protect the family, conflict in the family. He decided not to even get married. So he blessed him that you will not die unless you desire it. Now you see how a curse in one situation became a blessing in another. There he was cursed that he will have to stay in the earth planet for a long, long time. That was a curse. And now his father is giving him the benediction that only when you desire you will die. That means you'll have to stay here for a long, long time. So that is the background, the beginning of the background. Mind you, why I'm telling, why the Vedas or the Vedic scriptures are giving all these details. Although these activities are inconceivable, but the way they are presented, you can see that they are not just some fictitious stories. Where do you get such intertwining happenings? And then also the name, the lineage that is going to practically an beginning of creation. Like often I ask devotees, people to consider that had it been a fairy tale, had it been a story, fictitious story, then could this be possible that such detailed family line is mentioned. Like for example, does anybody know the name of Cinderella's father? Does anybody know the name of the father of Superman? Father's name may be there, but what about grandfather? What about great-grandfather? What about great-great-great-grandfather? But here you see the whole line starting from, these two Kshatriya lines are starting from two personalities, sun god and moon god. Like in Japan, still today, they consider that their family line is coming from sun god. So this way we can see that they are actually coming from the same line. Somehow or other they ended up in Japan. So all the Kshatriya lines, the royal families, are coming from these two roots, sun and moon, sun dynasty and moon dynasty. Lord Ramchandra appeared in the sun dynasty. Krishna appeared in the moon dynasty. So this Caru dynasty is also from that moon dynasty. Okay, so to go back, now Shantanu, through this new queen, Satyavati, got two sons, Chitrangad and Vichitravirja. And now see, the father of this girl was so keen that her son would become the king, but both the sons died prematurely. Chitrangad, powerful, very powerful king, successor to the throne, very powerful personality, very powerful, illustrious personality. But there was a Gandharva king, his name also was Chitrangad. So he says, like, your name is tarnishing my reputation. Like people glorify you, Chitrangad, Chitrangad, as if I am nobody. So there will be only one Chitrangad, not two Chitrangad. So let's fight. So they got into a battle, a long-standing battle, and in that battle, eventually, Chitrangada died. Then Vichitravirja became the king, the younger brother. Then Vichitravirja had, he was young, so it's a custom that when one ascends the throne, he should be married. He has to ascend the throne with a queen. So Bhishma, who was like the guardian, he considered that 3 daughters of the king of Kashi are the suitable candidate for his bride. They were actually the expansions of Durga Devi. Amba, Ambika and Ambalika. So they were in the Swayamvara, that is in an assembly of kings and princes where they could select their own husband according to their own choice. So in that assembly, in that occasion, it was kind of a festival. Bhishma went there driving his chariot. And he picked up these 3 princesses on his chariot, said that I am claiming these 3 girls for my younger brother, Vichitravirja. I am coming from such and such family line, and so if anybody wants to stop me taking these 3 girls as the bride for my brother, then he can come and fight. So all the kings assembled there, and the prince, with their army, they attacked Bhishma. But Bhishma very easily defeated all of them and took these girls. So when he brought these girls to the palace, the eldest one, Amba, told him that, look, I already gave my heart to Shalva, another king. So please tell me what I should do. So Bhishma said, okay, since you have already accepted him as your husband, fine, you go back to her, go to her, him. So she went to Shalva. These Kshatriyas were very proud people, very arrogant. So Shalva was defeated by Bhishma. Shalva was fighting, but he was defeated. He also was attracted to Amba, but he was defeated. So when Amba came, he said, do you think I'm a beggar? That somebody is offering, okay, go back to him. Like as if he is giving you in charity to me. Said, forget it, get lost. So broken-hearted, Amba came back to Bhishma and told what happened. So Bhishma said, tell me, what can I do at a time like this, in a situation like this? So she said, you marry me. Bhishma said, I took a vow of lifelong celibacy, not to ever marry any woman. Then Amba said that when you picked me up in the chariot, you held me by my hand and pulled me onto the chariot. So just that act actually kind of indicated that you have accepted me as your wife. So Bhishma said, whatever may be the case, no way I am getting married. I have taken a vow. So this also shows how sincerely they kept to their vow. So then this girl, broken-hearted, went to her grandfather who was living in a forest. Sometimes some kings and like at their Vanaprastha ashram, they would leave everything and live in a forest. So he was living in a forest. She went to him and told him what all happened. So he said, don't worry, Bhishma is a disciple of Parashuram. Parashuram is a friend of mine, and I will request him to ask Bhishma to marry you. And Bhishma won't decline his guru's instruction. So he appealed to Parashuram. So Parashuram went to Bhishma and said, Bhishma, get married to this girl. Bhishma said, see, I have taken a vow of never getting married. Parashuram said, fine, you have taken a vow, I am your guru, I am telling you. Guru Ragga Balavan. The instruction of the spiritual master supersedes any other consideration. Bhishma said, no, I can't break my promise. Parshuram said, I am telling you, I am ordering you. So Bhishma said, if a guru gives an inappropriate order, himself degrading like this, that guru has to be rejected. Gururapya avaliptasya karja karjam ajanataha utpatho pratipannasya paritrago vidhiyate. Paritrago vidhiyate means can be rejected, should be rejected. So Bhishma, Parshuram became very upset. As you know, Parshuram, for 21 times he annihilated all the Kshatriyas from the planet. So he said, "You so arrogant, you are speaking to me like that? Come, I'm going to kill you." So Bhishma also picked up his weapon. So they fought for a long time. Parshuram couldn't defeat Bhishma, Bhishma couldn't defeat Parshuram. So at one point, Parshuram told him, "Bhishma, I'm very pleased with you, the way you're fighting. Ask for any benediction." Bhishma said, "If you want to give me any boon, then stop fighting." So Parshuram stopped fighting. And Parshuram went back and said, "Look, I tried but couldn't convince him." So then, when Parshuram left, her father was so upset. Her grandfather was Amba was seeing that her grandfather failed in this way. Now she decided to give up her body. So she entered into fire with a intention, with a strong determination and will to come back again to be the cause of Bhishma's death. As a woman he could not, but he gave up her body. So anyway, then two girls were married, Ambika and Ambalika. From Ambika, one son was born. His name was Dhritarashtra. But he was blind from his birth. And the other son, Ambalika gave birth to a son named Pandu. So Dhritarashtra and Pandu, Dhritarashtra was blind. Pandu naturally became the successor to the throne because a blind man cannot become a successor to the throne. Dhritarashtra always desired that his son would become the king. He couldn't become the king, but at least his son would become the king. Jai Shri Shri Gaurnithai ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadhish ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai.